One of the worst things you can do for your money is have it sitting in a checking account. And the reason for this? Inflation. Now, for those of you who don't know, inflation is basically just your money getting nerfed. The same reason why PS3 games used to be 30 bucks, and now PS5 games are 70 bucks. I feel like one of those grumpy old people when I talk about the price of video games back then.
Back in my day, Minecraft was 20 bucks.
Minecraft's been out for what, 17 years, and they upped the price by 10 bucks? Now, we can't force Mojang to lower the price of Minecraft, but we can do some things to combat inflation. At the very least, everyone should have a HYSA, also known as a high yield savings account. And some of you might be saying, I already have a savings account, but the accounts offered by traditional banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America are frankly cheeks. Now don't get me wrong, these banks do earn money, but at their rates it's like trying to build a mansion with popsicle sticks. Alright, imagine this. Genji and Hanzo both have $10,000 saved. Genji puts his money in a high yield savings account and it earns about 4%. Hanzo leaves his money in his regular savings account earning 0.01 just because that's what he's always done. A year later, Genji has made $400 for just existing, and Hanzo made barely enough to buy a big gulp at 7-Eleven. Same money, same effort, but a different outcome because they chose different accounts. To make a long story short, Genji's money was out there double jumping, climbing walls, and farming interests, and Hanzo's money was just gooning. There's plenty of high yield savings accounts out there for you to choose from. Personally, I use Apple Savings, which requires the Apple credit card, and I don't recommend getting the credit card just to access the savings. It's not hard to find one. You can just go on Google and search up high yield savings account, and you just look out for any fees or minimum balances they might have, and you have to make sure that they're FDIC insured. What does FDIC insured mean? Well, imagine that there's a cowboy with a bandana and he has one of those old-timey revolvers. It's maybe like a tumbleweed blowing by, and then the song starts playing. It was like, imagine that guy robbed your bank. Your bank teller would be like,
Damn, bro, I'm sorry, bro. They took your shit.
but if it were FDIC insured, your bank teller would tell you, yeah, bro, so we actually tracked this guy down, we found him, we roughed him up a little bit, and we got your money back. Here you go, champ. It ensures that your money's safe no matter what happens. Alright, now that we have a high yield savings account, we're off to a pretty good start. But this isn't where it ends. Once you have a savings account set up, you should set aside some portion of money to invest. Investing can be intimidating. I mean, there's all these questions that arise. What do I invest into? How much do I put in? How'd you get in my house? Don't worry, I got you. We always hear the word stock market, but what does it really mean? Honestly, it's a blanket term that people use for investing. Stock market can include stocks, index funds, and... Wait, back up a little bit. What's a stock? A stock is when you buy into a piece of a company. So let's take Apple for example. Company do good, stock go up, more money, good. Company do bad, stock go down, lose money. And my personal favorite, index funds. Now index funds are just a basket of stocks, which means if one of them does bad, it doesn't knock down your whole portfolio. But at the same time, if one of them does really well, you won't get as much because it's balanced out by the other stocks. It's a safer option because of the diversification, and it takes out some of the guessing and trying to find which is the next big company. The S&P 500 takes the biggest 500 companies in the US and pulls them together. And they're weighted differently too, so companies like Amazon, Nvidia, Google have a bit more weight, and those are known to do very well. There's a lot of apps you can use to start investing like Charles Schwab, Vanguard, but personally I use Fidelity. I haven't really tried the other ones, so there's a chance it could be better. Again, that's just what I use. And when you get on the app, you'll see a couple different options, a Roth IRA and a brokerage account. For general investing, you're going to want to go with a brokerage account, and for retirement, you're going to want to go with a Roth IRA. What's the difference? A lot. There's a lot to go into this video, but you just want to know that a Roth IRA has a limit on how much you can invest, but when you're old and wrinkly, Uncle Sam doesn't collect. Now, a brokerage account, you can invest as much as you want, but you pay taxes on what grows. I think everyone should have both, but at the very least, a brokerage account. And a lot of people don't like investing for retirement because they think, well, I won't be able to touch that money till I'm 60. But the time is going to pass regardless, and you'd be surprised as to how many people get to 60 years old and they're like, oh shit, damn bro, I should have... Alright, so now that I know what to invest into, where I invest it, how much should I invest? It's completely up to you, but a good rule of thumb is to invest 15% of your income, and if possible, I'd say even more. Let's say that you make $2,500 a month. which is about $15 an hour or about $30,000 a year. Ideally, you should be investing $375, which is 15% of your income, but for some people who are in a lot of debt or have a high cost of living, it may seem impossible. And to that, I'd say you should prioritize getting out of debt and getting a little bit of savings before you start investing. And for those of you who may not be convinced investing is for you, let's take the same example of the person that makes $2,500 a month or $15 an hour. And let's say they invested that $375 a month from the age of 25 to the age of 60, and they got the average returns of the S&P of 10%. How much would they have? 80,000? 300,000? Well, after 35 years, it would have $1.4 million, and 157,000 of that would have been their own money. The 1.2 that remains was compound growth. The earlier you start, the more time you have to compound your money. Some people don't believe that investing is for them, and that's alright. You could stick with your plan and watch the rest of us get rich. I appreciate you guys watching this video. My name is Passive XP, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Wait, check out this clip. Hold on, watch this. Alright, now I'm done. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.